Yo, Donnies and Donnets, come on, it's another week. So you know it's another episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Jeez. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I've got a big fish. A big fish in the pond. We're not in the pond now, we're in the sea. We're in the sea. This fish, no, we're not going to call him a fish because he's not fish, but we got a big, we got a shark today, guys. And that shark has over 350,000 followers on Instagram. Now, as a DJ, I need to say that is an achievement like no other. So there's a chance that you guys will probably already know this guy, and he has agreed to come on this pod and share how he has got to get to where he is today. So hopefully that can help you. Maybe not, those numbers are a bit wild, but not to say those numbers are not achievable. Yes, they are, but you got to put in the works. But we need to know what works to for. What is it that I need to do to obtain stuff like this? Don't worry. We're going to be talking about that all in a second, so stay tuned. But before we get onto that, you know what I'm about to talk about. Of course, Level Up Live. Tickets are out, but the question is, have you got your ticket? If you haven't, make sure you head into the link in the description. Get your ticket, guys. Tickets will not be out for that long. I keep telling you that they will be out, but I know that someone's listening to this and they're thinking, don't worry, man, I'll get it then. If you don't get it soon, there's a chance that you will be one of the guys that will only be looking at the video or audio download that we hope to be sending you. But we would rather you be in the house. In the house is where you can have the real obtained learning. And remember, it's all about leveling up your business for next year. So this is guaranteed to be the perfect investment into your business for next year. All it's going to do is make you more moolah. But we can get back to that. We'll get back to that. Don't worry. I'll see you 22nd of February. I'll see you. But other than that, let's get into this episode because people are waiting on these major keys, man. So let's get into that, man. Let's not dilly-dally and let's roll the goddamn VT. DJ LORDZ in the house on the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast.
Big up, man. Respect for having me, man.
Hey, LORDZ, thank you for being here, man. Thank you so much, bruv, man. This is going to be a very insightful, motivational, inspiring, storytelling episode, and we've got so much for the listeners. So thank you so much for jumping on, man.
No, thanks for having me. No
problem. So first of all, I want to say, how are you doing today? So, LORDZ strikes me as the kind of guy, he started this morning with gym. Am I right?
Yeah. Bro, I was there at 8 a.m. in the morning.
8 a.m.
Because I knew I had the podcast today, so I was like, okay, I need to make sure we go. I think I got up around about 6:30, 7ish, breakfast, straight to the gym, did a leg session, came back, get ready, and boom. I like that. That's my routine. I like getting up early and going to the gym, and that's what I prefer doing. You know what I mean? So the gym for me is a big part of my usual routine. It helps my mindset as well. Yeah. That's like a time where I'm like, okay, that is just for me. Nothing to do with work related. I work on myself for the hour or 45 minutes, whatever time I'm in the gym for. And after that, I then come home and start the rest of my day. Okay. So when you're with your morning routine, you're not like doing sparkling water with the lime and then Nah, I wouldn't go that far, bro. I wouldn't go that far. You know what I mean?
That's how you get the 300,000 followers, bro. You got to stay up at 5 in the morning, sparkling water in your face, bro. That's
Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't go that far, bro. I just literally just get up, a protein shake, some eggs and whatnot, and just ready to go, man. So I think it's the best way to start a day to get some exercise. Either going to the gym or going for a walk, you get me? One or the other for me, a bit of exercising before you start the actual day.
So is that like an everyday thing, LORDZ, or is that like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, or is it like, are you talking 6, 7, or 5 days a week?
More or less like 5 times a week. At least Monday, Tuesday. Sometimes I have a break on a Wednesday, depending on, but if not, it'll be Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday, I normally just have that break, do something else. Or if I'm working, obviously, I'm not going to go to the gym. I need to make sure I sleep in a bit longer so that I can stay up for the later time if I've got a late set, you get me? So, but normally it's Monday to Friday.
Okay. Well, regimes, guys, trust me, man. Health and fitness is so important, especially
powerful,
for our
man.
DJs, for us DJs, because a lot of us don't focus on that when we should, because like you said, late nights, lugging gear, all that sort of stuff, which we're going to get into. We're going to get into all that kind of stuff. But
of course.
All right, so I like to start there's so much things I'm going to get into. Guys, anyway, this episode's going to be bad. But before we get into all the stuff, Lords, I always start my podcasts with talking about like sort of how you got into DJing. What is it that inspired you at first to actually become a DJ? Let's start there.
So for me, when it comes to DJing, I never was really interested in it at the beginning.
Okay.
So for me, I always loved music. So when I was younger, I listened to like Ja Rule, Nelly, have MTV Bass on back in the day and all that sort of stuff. Like R&B and hip hop was always my thing. But when it comes to music, I love music, but I was more on the creative side when it comes to creating beats and
like
instrumentals.
a producer and stuff.
Exactly. So for me, I was all about back then I was using FL Studios. So I'll be on there for hours just creating beats. And my inspiration at that time was like producers like Lex Luger, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah, of course.
And then producers like, and DJ Mustard as well. I loved his sort of beats, still love his beats to this day now. So that was my inspiration. So I'd make beats for like myself and then try and get artists on them beats as well. Because me and Freud, my friend at the time in Oldham, would go around and get artists. Have you heard of SBTV? Have you heard that before?
SBTV, yeah, man. I remember that was with what's his name who started it?
Jamal
Yes,
Edwards.
Jamal Edwards, yeah, of course, yeah.
So my boy Jamal at the time, he had his own sort of platform for the ones in Oldham. So basically, we'd have a platform. It was his platform. I was helping him at the time.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about, when you say Jamal, do you mean Jamal Edwards is who's your boy was?
No. This is the boy in Oldham.
Okay.
Jamal Edwards. I wish you knew him. I don't know my man. I don't know my man. You're a sick guy, obviously. You know what I mean?
What he did,
amazing things.
He opened the door for a lot of people.
Amazing. And exactly inspired my friend Jamal to start his channel. So again, obviously, I was with him, helping him. And then when I was doing things with him, I would create beats and hand it out to the artists that would record on the channel. So that was my thing. And then it wasn't until I went to college. And when I went to college in Manchester, there was an option. So we gave us two options. There was acoustics or there was DJing. Okay. And for me, I remember being in the gym at this period of time. I remember chatting to a mate, Jamal, at the time, and I was saying to him, yo, there's two options, acoustics or DJing. I don't know what to do. And he was just like, because I was doing music technology in college, just give you some context. And that was two other options to do in the course that you're doing in college. And he was like, yo, just do DJing, man. Just a bit of cash. It's a cash for you. So I was just like, all right, fine. So I picked it. And again, I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah, because you just thought it's just going to be a module, part of the course, is what it is. Yeah, I learned something, but it's not really like something I'm chasing.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So I did it, and at the beginning, it was just difficult for me. Like, I wasn't grasping it as fast. It was just difficult for me to get it, and I was like heavy-handed, and they would get us up to, take turns and get used to counting the beats and pressing play on the one and crossing over the crossfaders, etc. The basic skills, And I was heavy-handed and I would miss it and that. It just wasn't really my sort of thing.
It wasn't the flow,
I think the main thing for me was the fact that I was mixing house music. I didn't like house music, you know what I mean? Because that was like the easiest thing to.
It was, boom, boom, boom.
There's four
boom,
beats, yeah. Exactly. So, and I was enjoying it. So most lessons, I do what I got to do in it because I'm participating in a lesson, but I wasn't fully engaged. But the biggest shift for me was when I remember listening to Tim Westwood, right? And he, at the time, this is years ago, maybe 2012-ish time, around that time. And he was doing nights and whatnot in Manchester. And he had like mixes on SoundCloud and all that sort of stuff. And I listened to one of his mixes and I thought, yo, this mix sounds hard. I thought, you know what? I have the basic skills about DJing now. Let's apply what he's done and just do it myself. Yeah. So I downloaded Virtual DJ and then I just did it on Virtual DJ and I was just like, and I was just like, yo, this sounds sick, But I thought, yo, you know what? Before I get too carried away, let me go way back into college and because they had like DJ booths in college. Yeah. So go into there and do it on the proper equipment. It's one thing doing it on the software, but I need to do it on the actual equipment. Yeah. So I went into college and then loaded it all up, downloaded, like, I had to rip it on CDs, not no USBs, I had it on CDs, you get me? I had a folder, everything, you know what I mean? Like, way back, before Apple Mac and all, output MacBooks and that, way before them days for me. And man, load it in the CDJs, and I did it, and I was just like, it just connected. I don't know what it was. It was like a mad wave. I thought, yo, this is sick. And after that, it just became an addiction.
How old was you this time, right? Because are we saying college? Are we saying like 17, 18? 19?
Because I did college in Oldham Sixth Form first. I did school, and then I did Oldham Sixth Form college, because I wasn't sure about music at that time. It wasn't until the end of Oldham Sixth Form College I liked music, but I couldn't go straight into university. I needed to go to another college in Manchester to study more about music and have some sort of qualifications before I could then go into university and study further. So year-wise, it was roughly, around like 20. Age-wise, I was around about, I think I was 18. I think 18, 19 when I first like started touching bass and getting used to DJing. And after that, it just became an obsession once I figured out how I can kind of mix hip hop and R&B. Became an obsession. I would spend hours downloading music on YouTube and things like that. I built my own library and then started investing in like equipment, like investing on DJ controllers and things like that, investing in them. Asking some of my friends in my classes. There was 2 people that were DJs. There's SB and this guy called Liam as well. They were DJs in my class. So I'd ask them like what they think about this, is it a good mix, etc., and then they'll give me little tips and whatnot. And and that's how it kind of started when it comes to my passion of DJing. But again, I didn't get anything solid for a long time. A long time. Because after college, went straight into university, and my mindset at that time was, okay, I'm still doing music technology. That was still part of the course. I carried it on again in university in Leeds, but I wanted to also do some DJing at the same time. But I couldn't get nothing.
And when you say bookings. Nothing, are you talking bookings or just like practice time, practice hours?
Bookings. I had all the equipment. I could practice as much as I want at home, but when it comes to bookings, I was in the trenches. I was out in the streets in Leeds, handing out CDs to speaking to promoters, saying like, yo, because it's Best Suit Night. So I knew where they were going to be. R&B events. I knew what it all was. Speaking to them, they were just like, most of them would just like give me like, more saying no, more or less. I wasn't the right person or it was the wrong time. And I was always, maybe next year or maybe a few months' time. There was always like brushed off. So eventually I got a bit tired and I also had university as well. So that kind of took a lot more of my time, especially when it comes to the course and things like that. So again, I was more or less, I got nothing throughout that whole 3 years. It wasn't until the end of university, one of my friends, SB, he shouted me for a residency in Manchester. And that's when I got my first residency in Manchester. I came through and I got that one in Manchester. Because like I said before, in Oldham, there was no opportunities at all. So even when I came back from university to try and get some work in Oldham, there was nothing.
So when you're saying there's no opportunities, are you saying like in Oldham, there was no clubs, no bars, no nothing? Or was it just saturated with other DJs?
So in Oldham, there was only 2 bars. When I was DJing, there was 2 main clubs. There was Liquid and Envy, and then there was a club called Tokyo's. Okay, Tokyo's at the time was on a downhill, so that wasn't really doing too well. And Liquid and Envy, that was popping, but again, it was like one DJ upstairs for like the commercial stuff, and then there was like another DJ, I think in the Envy room, again, it was a bit commercial, a bit more R&B. I think upstairs a bit more R&B, but again, it's very commercial, more house and a touch of R&B. And then downstairs was the same, but more old school, I think it was. I've not been in this club in years, so I'm just thinking about the whole music policy in each room now. It's been years. So yeah, and then there was like a few bars, but again, they were just like, they had a DJ ready, they wasn't interested in no one else. There was only about 1 or 2 bars outside, and that was it. There was nothing else. So we're just like,
it's crazy like that, because with what you're saying, I'm trying to think about other DJs that are in that same sort of scenario. They're in a town, they're in a place, they're in a village that they want to DJ, but the opportunities are very slim. And with the places like you was just saying, with those, but one DJ. So then it's like, that's it. We've got DJ Bob. He's the guy. Yep, no problem.
That's it.
And then there's no like looking for anyone else to grow or to blossom or anything like that. So then it makes it something that's kind of hard to chase unless you know you want to kind of go into a main time. So the fact that you stuck at it, man, that actually, what is it that made you stick at it? Because some DJs, like some of them message me now when they're like, I could never do this. I'm over here and it's not going to happen. What would you say to someone like that, Lords?
I think for me, it's like, if you really want something, you will just go for it and you'll just stick at it no matter what, if you really want something. And for me, there was nothing else at that period of time that I really wanted to do. It was like something that, like I say, it was an addiction for me. I just couldn't wait to perform. I'd be in clubs and hearing DJs mixing. I'd be like, yo, I could do this, man. I could mix this song, man. I could smash this down. You get me? You know what I mean? Like, why am I not there doing it? You get me? Like, I've never had that much, like, the fire and the determination to DJ, bro, was just at its peak then. You get me? So for me, it was fine. And the one thing I forgot to mention as well, when I was going to university, when I did come back to Oldham to stay for a little period of time or whenever it was, I'd also travel from Oldham to Manchester to try and get work as well. But again, I would drive on my own from Oldham to Manchester. I couldn't get nothing. Sometimes my boys would come with me too, but I go on my own and just try and network, hanging around the streets, speaking to motors, go inside, speak to DJs. And they'll just try and network DJs as well, get some like friendships with them.
People, see what happens.
Of course. I was only young and I was hungry. So, but again, the rejections were just bam. Remember, but I'm literally back to bar. I remember going to bars and like trying to speak to the owner. Again, when I reflect on this moment, the timing that I went on when I went to the actual bar or the venues wasn't perfect. I'd go there at the peak time when everyone's around. So obviously, they're basically doing what they've got to do. They don't want to speak to some next DJ trying to get a gig. You get me? They don't want to speak to that man. So now I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But yes, but I'd always get like weird looks and like, what's this guy doing here? Or just
what does he
off,
want?
You get me? So
go away, bro. Yeah, give me leave your card on the table. Yeah. And you're like,
exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah, constant rejections, bro. Constant rejections. But I'm glad I stuck at it, man. I'm 1,000,000% glad I stuck at it.
100%. And I definitely agree with you. Like the rejections, like it's funny when you're saying with what you're saying, because I remember when I was trying to be booked by promoters so much, like, and there came a point, this may have happened for yourself, but there came a point where I was like, if I keep doing this, like no one respects me. No one, like clearly they don't know I'm no one, there's no respect. So my mindset at one point shifted and I was like, I need to make myself someone. If I make myself something, you have to listen to me. Or if you don't, it doesn't bother me because there's so much coming in for me. I'm actually now don't need you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a power shift. But to get that power shift, you got to put in some grease work, boy.
It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, some people that I know, they got links and they know this DJ, they know this sort of person, and they get the work fairly easy, which is fair enough. But for some DJs like myself and yourself, it's not as easy as that. It really isn't. And I think it's down to the mindset and knowing that you're in this for a long game and you got to know that, you know, it's not going to be easy. You will have some down moments, but you just got to just power through them moments and know that you will eventually secure what you really want.
It will come. Which I know sounds cliche. Do you know when...
It does. But it's true, though.
Like, it sounds like, oh, man. And I know people are listening thinking, I've heard this all the time. But the thing I'm going to echo is that there's a reason that you hear it all the time, because it's true.
It's true. It's so true. It's so true.
It's true.
It really is. It really is.
You got to put in that graft. It's funny you were saying when you were saying about people know people. I remember coming up, there was a DJ, I'm not going to say his name because he's big and he's been big for years. We both came from the same area. It was both in the same youth club, everything. And I remember one of his parents was part of Groove Armada. So for him to get pushed into the industry from school, I remember we used to go to shows, obviously because of whose parents were. They were headlining big, massive shows, like with the Gorillas and all these big, massive names. And I think it was his auntie or his mum. She was part of that movement there. I remember when he got his first gig was like in a super club. He had a video team. And he was like, you know, we was like 17. And I'm thinking to myself, at the time, I remember myself as well. I was like, I swear I'm a better DJ than you. But anyway, because we would mix together. There would be times we'd mix together. And I'm like, bro, man, you're a bit off there. Like, you're not, like, if that was a clang, you're not saving it faster. Your ears are not picking up on the offbeats. But then when he's doing these mad shows, he's doing the mad shows. I've there looked at him on Instagram, and he's still doing mad things. He's not in my remit, but he's still doing these clubs, and he's now got a music video that he's landing. He's now jumping into the hip hop R&B scene, and but
he's got the link. He's got the
link.
It,
so and when I used to be like those people, if you've got the link, fantastic. Use the links, go for it. But for many of us listening, we don't have the link. We don't have our daddies over here or someone with Billy Big Bucks or this one owns a club or this one. We don't have that. So for us, we have to put in the graft, man. We have to put in the graft.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Loz, one thing I wanted to talk about today definitely was your story with Tesco's. So,
Yeah, man.
you know, it's like we were saying before offline. Sometimes when we do those things, it's not something that we want to talk about at the time. But I love the fact that you've put that to the top of your page and you've pinned it to sort of explain the story. But I want you to bring the story to the podcast. Let's talk about your experience with Tesco's and how that went.
Okay, great. So to give you some context, obviously I've always been a full-time DJ. That's what I had. I had no other job. And prior to the Tesco stories, I had residencies in Manchester. So at this point, I was doing okay.
And when you say at this point you was doing okay, and you say you was full-time, before Tesco's, was you not working?
What? Oh, no, I was always working. I was always a full-time DJ.
Okay, but you was a full-time DJ by that point. Okay. So you're just working for yourself?
DJ. For myself. I've never done any other job other than that. That was my full-time thing. So yeah, I was doing that, and then obviously lockdown happened. And then when lockdown happened, like for everyone, like we lost all our gigs, everything slowed down, everything closed down. So I remember that when that happened, and I was just like, I remember losing all my gigs and promoters, and people mentioned me saying, yeah, it's not opening no more, club's not opening, or the bar's not opening, etc. So I was like, okay, cool. And I remember chatting to my missus, because at that time we just moved to Manchester as well. So I finally got out of Oldham, moved to Manchester with missus. So my mindset is like, I've got bills to pay because I'm full-time DJ now. I've got residencies. I can move out of Oldham now. I can go to Manchester, so it's cool. So I was literally just moved into my flat, and I was in there for about 1 or 2 months. Yeah, we moved into the flat in December, and lockdown happened. Yeah, anyway, moved into the flat.
You went in 2019, and then lockdown happened in March 2020.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, fuck. So obviously when lockdown happened, my missus was saying, you know, you might have to get a job, you know, and I was like, yeah, maybe. But obviously my ego was like, maybe it won't last that long. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's like, might be cool. You know, I've got someone saved up. Might be cool. You get me? You know what I mean? And then my boy even said the same thing. Like, you know what? Because of lockdown now, you might have to get another job. And I was like, right, okay, as well. That's 2 people that I thought, you know what, saying it. And then obviously I got paid weekly at that time. So I was just like, and when I remember the first week went by, I didn't get paid. I was just like, yo, if it carries on like this, I'm gonna rinse through all my savings.
Yeah, literally.
Who knows how long it'll last for? You get me? So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have to get a job. So then one day I woke up and thought, you know what? I'm gonna go out and go to like the stores around my area in Manchester, because that they were taking on people from all walks of life who want a job. But the stores near me was already taken, because when I went out, all the jobs were already taken. So I had to go further out in Manchester to find a job anyway. Eventually I found Tesco's. And I went there, and my job that they gave me was 2 jobs. So the first job was social distancing. So I had to go there and essentially monitor the space. So I remember being in the produce aisle, so like grocery and all that sort of stuff, and like, you know, fruit and veg, etc. And I would stand there, no lie, from the start of my shift, which could have been from, I don't know, 10 a.m. till 3, 4, 5 p.m, whenever it was. And I stand there, and then I have to then like monitor the amount of people in this location. So I can only have like maybe 2 people on one side and 2 people on the other side. And that's it. And there had to be a gap 2 meters away from each other, I think it was at that time. I had to stand there and just like be a bouncer, bro, and just be like, there's a massive few people. Stand there. Exactly. There's a massive few people waiting, and only 4 people there. They've got to go, and then, you know, when 1 people leaves, 1 person go in, 1 in, 1 out, sort of thing. So I was doing that, and I was just like, I remember chatting to one of the employees there, and he was just like, yo, I wouldn't blame you if you don't come back tomorrow. And at that time, I was contemplating it, because I was just like, yo, like, what am I? Like, I'd be real. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I went from DJing, getting paid triple, quadruple the amount of money double the amount of money I'm getting paid here. My residencies, and I love DJing. Now I'm doing a job that I hate doing for less money.
It's got nothing to do with all your experiences and your skills.
Exactly. So I was just like, what am I doing here? But at the same time, not only for me as a character, this is what it brought out of me. What I didn't realize is that, for me, the way I look at it, it was just me and Mrs. living in the house. And Mrs., she got money from furlough, which is great. That helped us. But for me, I wasn't going to be that lazy guy sitting back thinking, you know, I'm not going to work because I'm a DJ. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to Tesco. That's not me. That is not me as a person, you get me? As far as I'm concerned, as long as I am physically able to work and provide my side or whatever, I'm going to work regardless. And that shift was the best thing I ever did, because being in Tesco's, I met so many different people in different
Yeah.
walks of lives, and hearing their stories and just meeting them there was one of the best things. You know what I mean? That was amazing.
It's funny how that can happen, though, isn't it? It's funny how you can go somewhere and feel like you're in like, oh, what am I doing? This is low. But then when you reflect on it and you're thinking, I learned some stuff. I learned some things that's made you.
Honestly, I met so many people there. It's crazy. And as well as that job, because I forgot to mention, there was two things. Also, there was that social distancing thing, and also they made me. I never get this moment yet. It's embarrassing, but it's the truth. I'm just gonna say it is what it is.
Let them know.
So it is what it is. So basically, the ghettos, yeah. I'm not, honestly, this is real. This is real, bro. Real. So what they would do, yeah, they would literally get us to hold like these lollipop sticks, right? A massive sign that says "Stay 2 meters away from each other," and you had to stand there on each aisle and just hold it for hours, bro.
For hours, didn't even like
for hours. Now for hours, man. I have some staff walk up and down the whole store with that as well, and that was another degrading moment for me. Cause I was just like, I can't do this. I need to do something else. So anyway, they moved me on to this other department, which was .com. And that was essentially where, for example, you order your Tesco shopping, and it goes Tesco's, and I'm the person who picks your order for you.
Okay, yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So that was me, and that was the big part of my Tesco, because I was there for a long time, and that was, the shifts then was from 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. every single day. And that's what I do at Tesco's. And yeah, man, it was, like I said, being there, I met a lot of people that I never would have met in a normal day-to-day. Yeah. And it really made me appreciate my job as a DJ. You know, really, really did. I was like, you know what? I've been so lucky for so long doing what I love doing. And like, I really appreciate what I was doing, and hope eventually to go back to that point at some point, you know, eventually.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, and then I was there for a good year and a half. But in that period of time, the social media, that happened as well.
So I'm guessing that's when we started doing the Instagram quick mix videos. Yes. Because so LORDZ, that is when you came onto my radar around, I would say probably like 2023, at the end of 2022, say 2023, coming to 2024, and it was your hooks were banging, still are. I saw that. Do you know what I love actually? Those videos, you kind of, the format you still do now, which is really good. Your consistency has been next level, but you've got hooks, quick mixes, and tunes. So there's something that, you know, like obviously with my, you know, social media and the way it mains in my head, if I see something, I can look at the science behind what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Yes. So then when I looked at yours, I was like, ooh, this guy's got a triple threat. Like he's got back, he's doing that, he's doing this, and he's doing this. Yeah. This is gonna. I appreciate it, nah, bruv. The science is there. I see it and I'm like, ooh.
No, I appreciate it. There's there's a lot of research and a lot of work that went into creating the what I have right now, and the mixes that I create right now, you know.
So that started at the same time as the Tesco. So while you was doing the Tesco's work, you was doing the mixes. So you're doing those shifts and then coming back home and then you're making those mixes, right?
Yes. So what happened was, I was at Tesco's, and I remember in the shower thinking, you know what, like, I need to do something. I can't come out of lockdown and then come back to nothing at all. My brand at the time wasn't as big as some of the DJs that I've seen on Instagram, or that I may look to every now and then, like for example, like Charlie Sloth or whatever, you know what I mean? You know, Steve Aoki, or, you know, the big DJs,
big names,
you know what I mean? My brand was nowhere near as big as that. So I was like, I need to do something to grow the brand, at the beginning, to grow a brand, and to have to make sure, because I wanted something when I come out of lockdown, I wanted something that was mine. I didn't want to have to go back to my residences all the time. I wanted my own thing, you know what I mean? 100%. And I wanted to kind of shift the whole thing where it's like, instead of me coming out hunting residencies, people come to me instead. You know what I mean? 100%. So for real. So I thought, you know what, this is the time. So it was the hardest time. So what I did was, at first I started doing, my missus, she did a lot of influencing sort of stuff, like, you know, the influencer stuff, like in pictures. So I was with her helping her do that sort of stuff. And that's why I took pictures of myself, but I knew it wasn't really for me. And then eventually I thought, you know what, I want to start doing like more DJ content. But I was like, how am I going to do this in my sort of way? And at that time, a lot of DJs were doing the lives, the IG lives, right? And a lot of people messaging me saying, you're going to do lives, whatever. And I was just like, I don't know if it's my sort of style, if I want to do an IG live. Because it's more like you got to host the live, you got to keep them engaged, you got to keep them on there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, don't get it wrong, it works some DJs,
no,
that's
100%.
fine.
It's
But
just,
I thought,
it's just not me. It's not.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not me. So I thought, you know what, maybe that's not for me. And I thought, you know what, just do some mixes, you know? And at first I was a bit like, ugh, I'm really gonna put myself out there like that, like what are people gonna think? Especially for me, it was like at that time, it was like, what are the DJs gonna think about this? You know what I mean? And I was like, are they gonna say, oh, this mix is dead, this mix is too simple? Because I didn't want to do anything too complex. I knew the first fact that the people that I was trying to hit aren't gonna be interested in the complex mixes. You know what I mean? So I just thought, I didn't want to do that, and I thought these are about this is just basic or whatnot. But then eventually I thought, you know what? I think I seen something on. I think Gary Vee said something, or there was a statement
that you heard, and you was like, you know what? I need to get out of my head. Yeah,
it resonated with me so heavy. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? And then I need to forget what people think and just be tunnel vision on what I want to achieve. Forget, no matter how big you are, you always have some people going to say something negative, but you need to just need to forget them and just do what you really want to do and just go tunnel vision on your goal. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it, innit? So I then started creating the mixes, and that was in my living room. Bear in mind, I would go Tesco's, come back home, and have to rearrange the whole living room. Sofa, little table, everything moving out of that whole, every blood clot. Every day, bro.
Bro, there was one video you put up, I don't know if it's probably because I know you're not a deleter. It's still on your page. There was one video you put up where you were showing how you do the setup, and you was like, soft light with the soft light. Got to the table, got to plug in the decks, got to plug them in, of course. Power, phonos, set up,
everything.
Light, okay, let me make sure is it good? Camera, level it up, okay, let me see, am I in shot? All right, let me get back round. All right, let me press record, let me, and then and I was, because it's funny, like, when people see it, they just think, some people think, oh man, I would just love to have an area in my house where I could just DJ all the time. And that's not the case, you know?
It's not the case. I had to create my own area. I literally created because there was nowhere in my flat at the time that would work. I knew that I wanted something clean behind me. And there was only one white wall that, well, we had a whole lot of white walls in the room, but that was the only one that would work for me. And regardless of lighting as well, because the window was in front of me and things like that. So it was the best one. It was a bit of a ball ache. And also my DJ equipment was in the spare room. So I had to then lift the table, bring it into the living room once all the sofa and everything was out the way, then set everything all up, get the camera recorded on the tripod and the angles right, etc., hit record, and then record mixes. And after doing a 6 a.m. to a 2 p.m. shift with my eyes are blood clot red because I'm tired, you know what I mean? That's the reality, bro. But I was just like, yo, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is what I need to do something, you know what I mean? And again, with a lot of people, like, when you start posting, you don't get anything, you don't blow up like that. It's not the case. And for me, I was posting every other day or every day. And again, my views just kind of just stayed stagnant. Like, or if not dropped, or just, there was nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. And I was doing that consistently for 1.5 years. And the one thing I never shared is that when I was posting on IG, people see me post, but they didn't see what I did behind the scenes when I was in Tesco's. So in Tesco's, I'd post in Tesco's because I had a specific time that I wanted to post at that period of life. And that time was at 12 a.m. or 12 a.m. noon, I think it was, or whatever it was, right? 11 a.m. or whatever it was. So I'd be in Tesco's during my picking on the people shopping, going in the aisle, getting ready to post, bro. I was literally risking my job as well doing that, you know? Because, like, when you pick, like, people shopping, you get timed. So if you're slow, the management will know you're slow, and they'll be like, why are you so slow?
They're looking at CCTV. Blood, you're on your phone, bro. What's going on
Exactly,
there?
you know what I mean? And I was a temp for 1.5 years. So they could just get rid of me like
just
that.
like clicking for fingers. Yeah.
Exactly, you know what I mean? But I was just like, yo, I need a frigging post. I'd be like on the frigging, on the ham and meat aisle, just like posting, you know what I mean? Just posting and putting my phone in, God, you get me, you know what I mean? That is the reality of the situation for me at that time. You get me? So, but like, I look back and I'm Because I'm just like, I can't believe I did this. But at the same time, that was the grit and the work I put in and what I risked.
Yeah.
Because there was no other jobs out there at that time. So I was risking my only job.
At the time, you needed that. That was the bread that was coming in.
Exactly. That's the only bread coming in. Exactly. So I was risking the only job because I believed in the bigger vision, which was my own brand eventually. Yeah. I didn't know when it was going to come. I didn't know how it was going to come. But I knew it was going to come at some point. I just didn't know when it was going to come. You know what I mean? So stick at it.
So,
yeah.
What was there must have been like a one video or a video that done better than most, and then it started to kind of form. Do you remember that video at all? Do you remember kind of what time the video when you're like, oh, whoa, this one's doing stuff that the other ones ain't done?
I remember the specific one that changed my life. And this one, because while I was posting on IG, I was posting on TikTok as well. Yeah. And TikTok for me is always I treat it as my experimental app.
Yes.
I post bare on there, try to make hooks, whatever phrases.
Whatever, yeah.
Exactly, you know what I mean? And I posted this one mix. It was, and I never forget this. I remember recording it prior to this. My girlfriend, she was in the room, she was on the phone in front of me on the sofa because the sofa was moved forward and I was in the back wall recording my mixes. And she would say, it was going to go out and go for a walk or whatever. She would just say, how long are you going to be? I said, I'm just going to record this last mix and then we can go out and do what we've got to do. And the mix was the Rihanna Rude Boy into Baby Boy. That mix changed my entire life. I recorded that mix. I thought nothing of it. Honestly, I just did it. I was like, yeah, this is another mix, you know, post it, whatever. Post it on TikTok. It got a lot more traction than anything else. And I was just like, and that's with the whole songs that get the girls dancing series that I was doing. So I was just like, right, it's doing well. So you know what? I'm going to post the same thing on IG, the exact same thing. Post on IG, boom, started blowing up rapid. And I never forget lying in bed and I was just like, this is crazy. And this is crazy. I remember my girlfriend next to me said, have you got any more mixes? I was like, you know what? I've got bare mixes in my draft. On IG, because again with IG I always felt it has to be perfect, and I was a bit nervous what people were going to think and that, so I had bare mixes just laid there on my IG, just like and my girlfriend's like, you know what, you need to post them, post every single one of them to keep the momentum going. And I was like, you know what,
100% correct.
So I was like, you know what, you're right, but yeah, okay, let's do it. So I had them all there, just posting them back to back to keep it going, and that just amplified the whole thing, and it just blew up my whole account. Like, man, I remember refreshing my account, and it was always 1,000 followers or bare. It was crazy, and I went from 4,000 followers, just 4,000, to then over 100, 200,000 followers, just like that. Wow. It was honestly unreal. I walk around the streets and that people stopped me in the streets.
You're the guy. That mix was sick.
Yeah. And I'm just like, right, I'm some guy from Oldham. Like, what you mean? Like, you see me like this? I'm like, right, like, it's honestly, it was like I went from like nobody to somebody over just one night like that. You get me?
Do you know what we're gonna do?
And that was
we're gonna quickly, because I think about the people. If anyone hasn't seen that video, we're gonna play it for them right now.
Take it, love me. Come here, rude boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, you should big enough. Take it, baby, take it, love me. Come here, rude boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, you should big enough. Take it, baby, take it, love me. Baby boy, you stay on my mind, fulfill my fantasy. Come on.
So basically, obviously it blew up and whatnot, but later on, like, I think it was like last year, whatnot, whenever it was, the person, because you know when you do Instagram Reels, you can reply back to people's comments, can't you? Right? And that is the video. So I replied back to someone's comment with that Rude Boy Rihanna mix and it blew up. Okay. But I think that person who I replied back to might have deleted their account.
So that means the video disappears because it was on there.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's but I've got it on IG. I've got it on TikTok, but I don't think it's on IG.
Okay, no problem. Well, guys, you saw the clip there. That was the video that changed things. And you know what, Lords, I want to quickly say, because I want them to really get everything you just said there in the last, I'll say 15 or so minutes. Man. Never give up. Believe there's something that you want to do. Believe in it and keep going. Tunnel vision. Don't listen to the naysays. When there's going to be people, when you're worried about, like, because I think, Lords, the biggest problem people have with Instagram, I'm going to focus on Instagram, I call TikTok the wild, wild west. Like you said, it's a testing ground. I'll throw anything up on it. I do not care. I have it's not like I don't have no respect. That's the wrong word. I have no inhibitions. There's no like gloss or there's not much thought. I'm like, just chuck it up, man. Like just whether it gets 100 views, 5,000, 10, Doesn't matter, bruv.
Just get it out there.
Get it out there. Doesn't
Yep.
time, like the strategy on TikTok, there isn't one. It's just I look at TikTok, you open it, it's just it's just it's a mad place.
Yeah. So it was amazing because I think the algorithm is a lot more. It pushes people's content a lot further than other people's.
Yes,
IG.
and that's why I think you can turn around there so
more.
much faster. Like you could turn from
Yes.
500 followers, and that could change with one video. Easily on TikTok.
Anyone can blow on TikTok.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter. As long as your content is good, TikTok will tell you it's good by pushing it to better people.
Yeah.
If it's shit, it won't push.
Go to, yeah.
But if it's good, it will push to better people.
And it will continue to push again and again and again and again and again. Like you said, the numbers, that little pink thing at the bottom when you open it, it's just got like 999 this, 999
Yeah.
999, 999. Oh, what? To the point you're like, I can't reply. I cannot reply to 1,000.
It's gone top.
Yeah, I can't. That's gonna take me a couple of days.
100%.
So yeah, man, I'm starting to think that video was the video. I think that's the video that I saw. I think, and then I was like, oh, all right, say no more. And then when I went to your page, like you said, like your missus was saying, the consistency, there was more of these videos. So I'm like, okay, I can get a quick hit of some couple tunes. All right, say no, that's a good idea. All right, cool. Do you know what? I wouldn't have done that. Maybe I should do it at one of the weddings. Do you know what I'm saying? So then your mixes, the videos were clean. It was nice. The background there wasn't too much confusion.
No, just clean.
You had your points, so you knew you had like 4 tracks coming. You knew from
at that time. I was just doing blends at that time, so it was just 2 songs, back to back. So it was just like I say, it was Rihanna, Rude Boy, and Spade Boy, and that was a big part of the whole Songs Get the Girls Dancing series. It was just 2 songs because a lot of them songs then go trending on IG, and then people use the audio.
They
for
used
their
the
things.
mix that you done in there.
Their thing that helped amplify the whole thing. It wasn't until later on where it was like, you know what, I want to be more. I want to challenge myself a lot more, and that's when I started doing like the 4 songs and 5 songs, you know. And that was a bit later on. But the original was just a blend.
Elevation from the original.
The
original mixes.
Yeah. Because it was mashup. The mixes and mashups at the beginning with the whole blends, and then later on, I then went into, you know what I want to do. I want to challenge myself more as a DJ. I want to show what else more I can do as a DJ, so just mixing 2 songs. And then that's when I started doing the 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah, the 4 or 5 songs. What I liked about those is that it's quick mixing. And with the quick mixing, it has to, because you're trying to get in as much as you can in the shortest amount of time. You know, like I've got
people's attention span is so small.
I've got them for a minute. If I can get a minute 20, I'm lucky. If I can get 2 minutes, whoa, that's a super fan. Do you know what I mean? But I've got them for like 40 seconds, 30 seconds, definitely. And if I can get anything more, so you got to be quick. And their attention, like I said, like even the chorus. Sometimes they can't let the chorus finish. You're like, bro, I can't let the chorus.
You need the next one. Next. You know what I mean? Next. Because that's what they want to hear, because they'll be like, oh, okay, I'm getting bored swipe.
Yeah.
And that's it. You've lost them. You've got to keep it engaged and keep them like hooked on you watching your mix, basically, and watching your content.
So, because I know one of the things, it's the same like you're saying, or do you see when you were saying about the Charlie Sloths and all those big DJs, there's some DJs now that think like what you thought and look at you like the way you looked at them. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll go and be like, I could, you know what I mean? That's what? Like, Jesus, I want to build my brand. I want to get, and they've got like 1,200 followers, like 2,000 followers. What advice would you give to someone like that that's looking at, remembering you, because you was that person at one point when you was looking at Charlie and those other brands, and they've got their crazy phone and their crazy brand. But now you've done something to get yourself into a place where now people come to you, similar to like what we were saying. What advice would you give to someone who's in a town that doesn't have a lot of opportunities? They've got their Instagram, they get the FOMO, they're looking, they're comparing themselves to all these different people, and they don't really feel that what can be achieved. What would you say to someone like that?
I'd literally say to them, forget what you think other people may think of you, because people don't really care as much as you really think they care.
They don't care at all.
And
they don't care at all, Lords.
They've got their own problems. They don't really care as much as you think they really care about your thing. So in my opinion, if I was speaking to that person, I'd be like, if you really want to be this specific type of DJ, or you want to achieve this specific sort of thing, you have to work backwards on yourself. So you have to think, okay, if I want to achieve this, what do I need to do to get to that stage? And the first thing that I say to any DJ is that you have to be comfortable putting yourself out there and be comfortable with the fact that, you know, you may only get low views. It's fine. It's okay. keep it pushing. Not every single piece of content you're going to post is going to bang. It's not. But you have to keep rolling with it. Rolling, because eventually there'll be one that does bang. And then once you find that one, regardless if it's only 100 views more or 2,000 views more, you double down on what that is and create more content around that sort of thing. You know what I mean? To keep amplifying and growing, you know what I mean? 100%. But I think it's more about the mind.
Oh, no, bro.
I think it's all about the mind.
Everything.
It really is. It really is. I feel like you really want something. You have to just literally, like you said already, tunnel vision and think, you know what, this is what I want to achieve. And if this, no matter how embarrassing or cringy it may be, this is what I want to do. And you have to just be like, this is focused on what I want to do and just go straight on with just that specific goal of what you want to achieve. 100%. Because the way I see it, if I can do it and I come from a town like the DJ we use as an example, there is no reason why another DJ from a small town can't do it as well. They can do it as well. You know what I mean?
And it's like you're saying, that's the mindset that I want to change. I want to change that person, because it's that person I think that needs to listen to this more than anybody else. It's the guy that lives on the, you know, like any shop is like 20 minutes away, and they're just thinking like there's one bar up the road, and you know DJ Dave's in there, no one can get in there, and his auntie owns the bar, and he's like, I want to be a DJ, but I can't DJ because he goes in there. The main cities are too far, or even when I do go to the main cities, they want the better big DJs, you know, 100,000 followers, this 1,000 followers, this brand, that brand, and they're thinking that they can't do something. I will go back to like what we were saying before about like, if you stay tunnel visioned and keep pushing your thing, there will come a point, I promise anyone listening, your thing will catch fire. The only thing you must do is learn. When you're posting, you must learn. So you got to look at things like analytics, what's working, what's not. Study, learn. Study it. Take time.
Also, look at other creators as well, regardless if they're in your field or not in your field, and see what works for them. Because content is content. If it's good content, it'll get pushed. And it's figuring out, okay, cool, if this style of content is working, or this topic of content is working for this creator, regardless is in your field or not, how can I apply this to my field as well? You know what I mean? 100%. And then use that as well to amplify your own brand. You know what I mean? That's what I'd say as well, because I think social media is one of the biggest tools, or the best tool that any DJ can use. And it's for free. I say this all the time. Like, if you're not on social media, you're going to be left behind. It's as simple as that.
Like, if you're not on social media, you're no one can see you. Like, you are, if you're not visible. And like I said, I was saying, I took a post I put the other day, and I was talking about, if you're the DJ that's like, oh, I don't need social media, I get recommendations from blah blah. That's good for you. That's fantastic for you. That means that you've put in work for years and years and years. But if you're someone who's trying to come up from the mud, like, you need to use the things that are available. People need to see you. If they can't see you, then they don't know you exist. Like, telling these days, telling someone something is dead. You have to show them.
Show them exactly what you can do. Show exactly what you bring to the table. And it's as easy as literally just picking the phone up and recording yourself, or chatting or recording your mixes, whatever it is that you want to do. And that's simple as that, really. 100%. You know what I mean? And put yourself out there, because that's the way forward. It's the way forward. I think any DJ that doesn't use social media, like I said, is going to be left behind.
You're going to get left behind massively. And those there'll be someone else, like there'll be some guy who doesn't, and there'll be someone who he thinks is less than them, and because of their mindset of social media's not really working for me, blah blah blah. And you see DJ Timmy in the next 8 months, 10 months, DJ Timmy's going to surpass you. And you're going to be like, how did DJ Timmy get there? DJ Timmy's been posting. That's
100%. Posting every day, putting that work in. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's the way it's moving now. It's all social media orientated. That's all it is. And you have to capitalize that to grow your own brand. Because once you have that locked in, you have your own brand, you have more leverage then. You don't have to go out there and have to ask a DJ or ask a promoter, can you book me for your event, and have to then go on what they want to pay you. You can charge your own fee. You can come in like, yo, I've got this brand now. I can bring X amount of people to your venue. You know what I mean? More people know me. I'm the headliner. People coming to see me at your event. You get me? So I can charge a bit more dough now. You get me? You know what I mean? It gives you leverage. And that's I want DJs to have, is more leverage. That's why I'm so big on social media. Like, I'm so much like encouraging many DJs to get onto it and use it in the right way, because it gives us leverage. It gives us, once you get it in the right way, it gives us leverage.
Yeah. And then all the problems that you used to have before about, low end, low pay, chasing promoters. Now,
being outside in the streets,
out in the streets, handing out CDs, all that sort of stuff. You don't have to do that anymore. Your DMs.
No.
Or if there is a brand that you do like, when you message said brand, they will be like, oh wow, this person wants to DJ. Yeah, sure. Like instead of them being like, who are you? They'll be like, because they can see your value. There'll be brands that you can contact now. They'll be like, we would love to pay you. We're gonna put you in the main room. We're gonna put you just after this one, just after that one. What they'll ask you? Do you prefer? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to do like a 12 to 1, or do you want to do right at the end?
Yeah,
or like, what do you want to do? Like, we can
more control on the situation. You know what I mean?
leverage.
So. Yeah, it's the best way. It's the best way in my opinion. So, yeah.
But the only way to get there is that you have to put in the work. Not your mum, not your sister, not paying for ads, none of that. None of no. You, whoever's listening, it's up to you. If it doesn't happen, you have to look in the mirror and say, it's my fault. Like, I don't care. I don't care how that hits. You know what I mean?
No, at the end of the day, like, you got to take ownership on the situation. What else could I have done? Because for me, I always look at situations where if I fail, I'd rather, you know what I always say, I'd rather try and fail than not try at all.
Same.
You know what I mean? That's what I always say to myself. So it's okay to fail. It's okay. You just look back and say, okay, what have I done wrong? And how can I improve this to make it more of a success? And if it doesn't happen for you, it doesn't happen for you. But I'd rather at least say, you know what? I tried my absolute best to make this work. That is way more valuable than being like, oh, I'm not going to try because I won't look embarrassing or I'm just going to fail. At least try and give it your go.
100%. And give it a good go as well. Don't give it a go for like a
week.
Like, give it like...
Nah, it's a proper legit thing. Like, if you're going in an IG on social media, whatever it is, you're going in, have a strategy, have a plan, and stick to that plan for a long duration of time. And collect all the data you get from all your pieces of content to figure out what is working and what is not, and then move on from there.
Pivot from there, 100%, man. 100%. Take those tips, guys. Take those tips. All right, Lords. I wanted to go back. I want to go back a little bit. I want to go back to when you used to DJ for Bass Jam. Do you remember Bass Jam?
I never DJed for Bass Jam.
Didn't you?
No, Bass Jam. I DJed Sidewinder.
No, you done Bass Jam and you done Guilty by Association.
I did Guilty, Bass Jam. I did Guilty by Association. That's my residency I had on Friday.
Okay.
Bass Jam, I didn't mix for them. I didn't mix for Bass Jam because that was an event in Manchester.
Oh, what, Bass Jam was an event? I thought it was a... Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was a venue.
Yeah, it was. I think that was an event in Manchester, Bass Jam, yeah. Guilty by Association, that was my residency on Friday, and that would pop.
Okay.
That was sick. That was sick.
And that was in Manchester?
Yeah, that was my... Friday residency in Manchester, I was there in Northern Quarter. I was there for a long time. That was hands down one of my favourite residencies I ever had. And again, I only got that booking. I had to do some mad shit to get that booking. I had to, because I went into the venue and they were just like, nah, I'm not having it. And then, because basically there was Guilty by Association and there's Lost in Tokyo next door. The two bars ran by the same people.
Okay.
So I went into both bars. I knew both play R&B, so I went into them, they both saying no, and basically went through an agency, and the agency was called Maximum Music. Okay. Maximum Music, that's what the agency was called. So I had to then get in touch with Maximum Music to then work with them to eventually get the residency there. It took a while, so I had to prove my worth to them. And then obviously, like, Mark was cool. He sorted me out with some gigs and whatnot. He was big up Mark as well. He helped me out with that at that period of time. And he got me some gigs. And eventually, we were just like, yo, there's a slot of Guilty by Association. Do you want it? And I was hungry for it, like super hungry for it. And I was like, yeah. And they gave me my residency there in Guilty by Association on Friday.
Okay, so all right. So Guilty by Association was one of your residencies before lockdown.
Yes.
This is the one, like we were saying, before lockdown.
Before lockdown. Before lockdown, and it was sick in there for Friday night as well, because Friday is a bit hit and miss sometimes. You know what I mean?
Always happen. Yeah.
Yes. So, and that was sick. Like, it was basically more or less every single Friday again, hip hop, R&B. And that's when I kind of homed in my old school R&B crates and like my whole, the journey I like to bring on people and digging into different songs that I wouldn't really use. And I kind of homed it, and like that's where like the old school R&B kind of like became better when it comes to my sets and my song selections, etc. And holding the crowd, of course, as well. You know what I mean?
Wow, 100%.
So that was sick.
When you was there, was it like similar to? I remember when you was talking about like Time and Envy, when they used to have one DJ in there all night. So was that just you all night, or was there you and other DJs that used to play? It
was just me. So you walk down some stairs and it's just one venue, and it's just me. And I was there from, I think, 9 till 3 a.m. Okay. 9 till 3 a.m. Yeah.
And then who did it have in the other bar?
It'd be someone else from the agency at that time, so be some other DJ. But again, it's the same music, the same R&B and hip hop, just in another bar next door.
Okay.
And they'll be on as well.
Do you know what? That brings me swiftly on to my next question, actually, because agencies is something that sometimes agencies can work, sometimes agencies can't. You've got all different kinds of level in terms of agencies. There's some agencies that you've been with where you can't wait to go. There's some agencies that don't really give you the respect that you say that you need. And then there's some agencies that are the best and some people stay with for a very, very long time. So what was your experience with Maximum? Talk to us about the agency that you was talking.
You know what? I've got nothing negative to say. I mean, he really, like, Mark is the owner of that, or one of the part owners of that, I think. So he really sorted me out, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got into that part of Manchester, because I wanted to get into Northern Quarter, a certain part of Manchester. And if it wasn't for me meeting him, I wouldn't have got into that part, because he had it locked down in regards to, like, he had a partnership with these venues. So he was the person who provided DJs.
Yeah, the one that you can trust. So people trust him. So whatever he says, they go off his word, yeah.
Exactly. So, and he obviously seen what I did. He liked what I did, how I conducted myself and whatnot. And eventually when the time was right, he was like, okay, cool. You can do Guild by Association. And at that time of life, I was happy with that. But it wasn't until later on where it was like, you know what? The agency is cool, but it's not what I want to be long term. I don't want to be tied to an agency like that. It was great for that period of time, but for me, where I want to go, it's not something that I see long term.
Yeah, long term. You know? But it's a good starting point, and it sounds like, because you mentioned his match, it sounds really good that you're talking about Mark in that light, because I'm sure he'll be happy to hear, because you know he's seen what you're doing now, and he's like, he probably always be like, I always knew, like, loads on stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like he's
me and him still communicating to this day now. Obviously, we're always chatting. Obviously, if anything he needs, I help him out, and vice versa. He helps me out with certain things when it comes to like DJ booths or whatever it is. Me and him still chat to this day, and I respect what he does in regards to the agency he's built. You know what I mean? He does weddings as well as he's got the agency as well. So I respect that. You know. So
I think agencies they sound easy to run. I know when there's some people that talk about agencies, but I know that in the agency world there's good. You know, there's good, bad, and ugly. There's you got all of them. You've got medium ones. You've got ones that rip you off. You've got great ones. You've got, because their businesses run by people, and it's not like it's been regulated in a way where you can't do this, and you can do what you want. If you accept it, it's up to you. If you sign the contract, it's up to you. If you go out for that much, it's up to you. If you don't go out, it's up to you. So it's sometimes people, you know, because I've said with agencies, like I said, it depends on which one you're going to get. The bad ones, I don't rate the bad ones, because the bad ones make people stop wanting to DJ. And then the good ones, I think the good ones are fantastic, and they give people a foot in the door, give them a sample, a taste, to see if this is something that they want to do. And then if the more better you are, they give you better things, more better opportunities, more better gigs, and push you further and things like that. So it all depends on how you find your agency. And the worst thing, like, I don't even know what is, because now I'm thinking about that I keep thinking about that DJ. And the reason why I think about that DJ in the village who thinks he can't, because it's the past you, Lords. That's the person, right? And that person, like, luckily you had the mindset, like nothing that you had, because that's what's brought you to where you are today. But we don't want to forget about the others that are in those, you know, in the sticks, and then it's like, oh man, like this ain't gonna work for me. Agencies will be great for those types of people as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's a little, like, the way it's a little stepping stone to get your foot in the door. 100%. If you can't get the residencies straight away, an agency is another way to get yourself in the foot on the door. The one thing I'd like to touch on, though, is residencies as well. Like, I've got my own opinion on residencies. What do you think about club residencies?
Club residencies. So I've done club. My take on club residencies is that the payment's too low for me. For the ones that I did, I might not have been at some of the best ones, or I might not have been respected much at the time. So then I felt more so about building your own brand, like your own club night, do your own, because the amount of work that you would do at let's just say, for instance, you're getting paid £300 at a night at one of these residencies, and I'm like, okay, I'm there every Friday per se, and then I'll do the math, and I'm like, okay, £1,200, and I'm like, okay, cool. What if I did my own monthly party, and I did my own monthly event that I'll do, and then I'll bring in, you know, 2 other DJs, and we will do it, and then from that I'll obviously take the most, because I'm doing the promoting, the marketing, the flyer, and all that sort of stuff, and I could then take £1,500 from that, and then be building a brand and still book the DJs. So my mind shifted into do more work, like promote, and then build, because I felt like the residencies that I had back in the day, I wasn't really getting what I felt that I deserved. I could have been wrong, but yeah, that's kind of my mindset. And what's yours? What do you think about residencies?
I think residencies are a situation, the way I look at it, because I've had a few, and I've had to leave some as well for different reasons. But for me, I feel like residencies are a great way for you to practice your skill, hone your skill,
massive.
get used to, maybe build a little small local following who come to a certain venue because they see you there, etc. You know what I mean? Also, a bit of regular pay as well for you starting out. But I feel that residencies also slows down your progression, because I feel like a lot of I see residencies kind of like a 9 to 5 in a sense of where it's safe. You know what you're doing, you know what you're playing, you're getting paid, it's easy. And you can, I know for me, working in Tesco's, you can easily get trapped in that sort of comfortability,
100%.
And I feel like residencies are like that for DJs, where it's like, it's comfortable, you know what you're playing, you're getting paid, etc. It's easy. And I feel like as a new DJ, if you're in residencies, the way I look at it now, you have residency for maybe a year or two, depending on what you need. Get what you need from that residency. Money, well, not even the money, but just the experience. The homing your skills. And then, you've got to then leave and let another DJ do him or her do her thing, him or her thing there, basically, because it's like, you can't stay in there all your life because you're not going to grow. You're not going to. And the day you just helping some other bar earn money, and you're still on the same wage. Like, you know what I mean? They're not going to increase your pay unless you got a good relationship with the manager and might give it more, but you're not going to increase your pay. So it's just like, you need to keep it pushing. Stay there for a year to get what you need for yourself as a DJ and your skills. And after that, I think, right, okay, it's time to leave. Let a new DJ come in, let them do their thing, and you go on to the next place. Experience something new
different,
and challenge yourself in a different sort of way, different sort of environment. If you want to be that resident DJ, which is, if that's what someone wants to do, that's fine. But that's how I would do it personally.
Yeah, I think that's you made a good point there. I think one of the best things about residencies is the training ground. When I had my residencies, that's what I was very high risk in terms of the mixing and the tunes that I would do. So they would be like, I knew I could find a tune. I'm like, let me try that on Friday. Let me try that. And I'll try peak hour. Do you know, like, I'm going to go peak hour. And I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. Like, I don't know.
But I'm going to do it anyway. I get it.
Because like, half the people know me. It's 2-4. Like, half the people know me. And if it doesn't, I'll bring it back in 30 seconds. It's not a problem.
But I'm exactly.
But then that helped me a lot, because I started realizing wild cards favor. Do you know what I mean? If you can throw in taking the crowd and going, beep, sometimes can work really well, because it shakes people up. What? Are we here? I'm like, yeah. We're here. What are we doing here? Beep. Oh, snap. Okay. And now they're looking at you like, what's next? Because they don't know. They're looking at you like, I don't know where we're gonna go. We're gonna go here, and they're like, oh, and then you start to realize that. Throwing people off your scent can really help. And it was the residencies that taught me that because I had more of the confidence to take those risks. Do you know what I mean? So then when I was getting booked and then doing, a 1 hour set with 7 other DJs, I'd be like, do you know what? How can I stand out? I'm like, wild cards, bruv. Wild cards. Yeah. So then I'll come in and I'll be like the crazy DJ that's doing like...
You're doing
things that, he's doing that. The DJ before me was doing that. I'm going to start with this. I used to start with... acapellas, so I'll start with an acapella. And then starting with an acapella, they don't know what genre I'm gonna drop. Like, are you gonna?
Yeah, it's open. You can go anywhere.
They can kind of get the BPM. I don't know. Is he gonna go 90? Or is he gonna go? I don't know which one's he gonna do. And then you
what genre you gonna go?
There's a time you can kind of let it go, and just before people lose, this is like, was it? Boof, drop the bomb, and the room just goes. And then sometimes I'll see the DJ before me look at me and go.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I read that.
Because he got it to a level where I was panicking. I'm there like, bro, he's cooking, but the venue's going crazy. And I'm like, what can I do? My mind's like, what can I do? What can I do? Because I can't go on and then lose. I can't do that. I need to go on and erupt.
and do your
for
thing.
the promoter, for the I need that. Otherwise,
Be yourself.
Yeah. So then the acapella and the wild cards is what I learned from the residency. So I definitely echo what you're saying there. Take your lessons from that. The one thing I don't understand, Lords, and like I said, we were just saying, each to their own. But with some residencies, when there's been DJs that are in there for 8, 9, 12, 15
It's too
years.
long, man. It's too long. It's too long. Like, you need to go, man. Like, let someone else. You need to, bro. Like, you need to say this thing. Yo, like, I've been here for long enough. There's only so much money you can make from this venue. And for me, I don't DJ just for money. I do because I love doing it. And it's like, you need to know, okay, cool. It's time to leave and go somewhere else and challenge yourself in a different way when it comes to your DJing. Like, I could never be in the same residency, in the same place on a Friday or a Saturday night for 10 years, man. I just couldn't do that. I feel like I'm not growing as a person, as a DJ.
And I think it gets stale because
you get complacent. That's the thing. You get a lot. You get really. Like, even myself, I suffer from that from a lot of my residencies. I get complacent because just like, I know this song's gonna work. I know this is gonna work. You get complacent, and I think a lot of DJs have that as well. You know what I mean? When it comes to like residencies, because you're just comfortable, and that is the worst thing you can be. Being comfortable is the worst thing. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. As happening is, you need to be.
That's when success is.
It really is. It really is.
It's going to be out of you doing something out of your comfort zone. Similar to like what we were saying about, like, you know, I don't know who it is, but someone listening to this podcast now, when we were saying about, don't worry about what people are going to say about your social or your videos, or they're going to be cringe, or like, your success most of the time is on the other side of the thing that you don't want to do. The thing that's, and it's like I said, mindset, because it's your brain telling you something that's not true. Your brain's but like you said, everyone's got their lives. People got their own things going on. No one's there like waiting to laugh at you in the group.
And if they do, it's on them, not on you.
It's on 100%. And I think
it's on them,
if anything, what you should do is say, if you're not going to get a message, but you know what? If you do get a message, screenshot that message. Don't say to the person, don't reply, don't react, and give it 2 years. In 2 years, that same person who DM'd you and said, what are you doing, mate? Blah, 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 blah. They're going to be asking you to do their wedding. They're going to be asking you, can you come and do my son's birthday? They're going to ask you, can I come to what you're doing? That person is going to do a 180.
They're going to ask you how you did it.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you how you did it. They always laugh first, and later on they ask how you did it, like how you got there. That's how it always is. It's always like that.
So you
for sure.
Let them laugh. It's all
good. For sure.
All right, Lords, man, I think like I said to you before we started, we're going to have to split this into two, bruv. I've got here ebook, I've got here Dubai, I've got here VW, I've got here the mobile stuff, I've got here international bookings. We need to get into that, but we want to close it for now because otherwise we're gonna be here for a long time, man. So would you be happy to come back for a second episode?
Of course, man. Of course. Just let me know, and I'm there. I'm ready for you, man.
Say no more, man. Lords, thank you so much for your time today, man. It's been absolutely amazing. I've left all of Lords' links. Well, I'm sure most of you follow him already. I'm sure most of you do. But for the ones that don't, head into the description. You're going to see all of Lords' Instagrams, where you can go and see some of the stuff, exactly what he's talking about. What I love about Lords is that he's very transparent and he posts all of his stuff online. So everything we've spoken about today, you can go and view. He doesn't archive, he doesn't delete, he doesn't care whether the numbers are high or low. When one doesn't get no comments or one gets 100 comments, it doesn't matter. Just keep going up, going up. So you can see everything that we said here. No gas, full transparency. Actually, he's even been more transparent. So the stuff that you've heard on here is not even on here.
Exclusivity, man. Exclusive, man.
So I appreciate that, man. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you so much again for having me, man.
I can't wait to get you back on for the second episode because it's this stuff here. Because this is the early stuff that we've spoken about today. But this stuff, you've taken it to another level. And it's funny because when you were talking, I can hear your mindset, bro. I can hear you're not someone who doesn't take no for an answer, but you're driven, bro. You're driven. You'll keep going. Like, even if, I know we was both saying, just so people know, offline, me and Lords was both saying, we both got the blue tick on our pages because we can't lose the Instagrams. Like, we can't. But Lords, I know, if for some reason you lost your Instagram, all of the 5 followers went, bruv, you wouldn't give up. You wouldn't stop. You would just start again or go somewhere else and continue on.
No. Nah, hands that's motivation to go again. And there's no way I'm just like letting that in. I'm going again. I'm applying the same work ethic I applied from Instagram to another platform, or again to Instagram again, and just going it again. You know what I mean? Or TikTok, whatever it is. Nah, I'm not gonna give up like that. No way. You give up, you ain't gonna achieve your goal.
You're not gonna get there. You're not gonna get there.
No.
So that's the main thing, guys. Don't give up. Whatever it is you're doing, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going. 100%. It will happen. Believe in yourself. Like I said, I know this sounds mundane. I know it sounds cliche. I know. Even as I'm saying it, I'm like, and I know it sounds like, oh, that's easy for you lot to say.
Yeah,
I know, because I've listened to people saying the same stuff before, and I'm like, but it's easy for you to say that because you've got this or you're doing that, and I'm like, no. The only reason we're doing that, and the only reason we're here is because we believe and done what it is. So if you do it, there's no chance, there's no reason why it can't work out for yourself as well.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah. Anyway, guys, man, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Make sure you head into the description to get all the follows, all the stuff. And I'll big shout out to all my Patreoners supporting the Patreon, making sure we can keep these lights on, man, because it's not easy running a podcast. But you guys helping, you guys supporting keeps it all alive. Before we go, I want to mention, guys, as you lot know, Level Up Live, 22nd February. You make sure you get your tickets. Link is in the description. There is not many left. Or to be fair, I'm not sure when this episode's going to come out. So they may be sold out already. But if there is some, head over there. Head over there now. Go and get your ticket now. And I will see you on the 22nd of February where we can help you with your business to level up to the next level. But other than that, guys, take care, be safe, make sure you go and smash those gigs, get the content at the gigs, but don't be too disrespectful when you're getting your content. Get your content respectfully, post the content, rinse and repeat, and it will happen for you. Other than that, same time, same place, Mobile DJ Mastery, cheese! And I'll catch you next week.
Sick. That's it. That's it.